Welcome to the Forum. I'm Jan Callahan. Two recently released reports focus on child abuse and neglect. We have one from a federal commission, another from a regional child fatality review team, and both of them have interesting information. I just wanted to focus on a couple of highlights from our regional report in saying that 13 children had died as a result of child abuse and neglect in the year 2015. And that 80% of these children died at the hands of their parents. These are two startling indicators of the kind of problems that we can have with frustrated parents and children who are not behaving in a way that the parents are expecting them to, and for a lot of other reasons. The report also covers the issues of child deaths that were not considered founded in terms of anyone to blame, but many of those deaths could have been prevented. According to the report, there were sleeping incidents where children were either put in a bed with other things and were smothered because of pillows, blankets. They were put on their stomachs to sleep after being fed, and there was also the co-sleeping arrangements, often when parents fall asleep when their children may be in the bed with them. So these reports have a lot of good information. We suggest you go online to explore them more. You can go to norfolk.gov/human services, where you find links to both the Federal Commission report as well as the Child Fatality Review for Hampton Roads. And with child abuse and neglect on our minds, April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and there is an organization in our area called Champions for Children Prevent Child Abuse Hampton Roads. And joining me are Executive Director Melinda Cicotti and Board President Angie Bezic of Champions for Children Prevent Child Abuse Hampton Roads. Angie, you're new as president of the board, and I know that you have a few things you'd like to share about what your organization does. And Melinda is the executive director, and she is moving and shaking and doing all kinds of things to start some initiatives up in the region that will really capture your attention. So look forward to talking to both of you. So welcome to the board.
Thank you.
And so tell us a little bit about what your organization stands for and what it does.
Okay, thank you for having us here this morning. Champions for Children Prevent Child Abuse Hampton Roads is an organization that's been around a little over 30 years, originally as Prevent Child Abuse Hampton Roads, and we maintain our affiliation with the state Prevent Child Abuse Virginia and the National Prevent Child Abuse America. And we work here in Hampton Roads through education and advocacy to help people become more aware of signs, ideas, initiatives that are in place here that Melinda has been working extraordinarily hard to bring to our region, and just make sure that people understand that the hidden nature of this really can be brought forward, and we can help people prevent these tragedies from happening, and we appreciate you allowing us to help people understand that here.
Great, and we're one small way of being able to let you know, our public know that your organization is here for a very good reason, and the things that you do are things that you really want the community to get involved in. And Melinda, as executive director, you're taking charge of some initiatives and some of those very things to get people to pay attention in a way that's beyond a news report.
Yes, yes, we certainly are working hard to do this. One initiative that we've been working on for the last 6 months is taking forward a child abuse sexual prevention program called Stewards of Children. And Jan, what we have done since August 28th is we have trained 326 participants in that prevention program. The last group being a group of social work students from Norfolk State University. And so we're training adults who care for children and young adults that will be caring for children. So with that program, you really learn to recognize the signs, know what to do when you see the signs, and organize environments so that the risk for abuse is minimized greatly. That's really important. That's educational programs and training for our citizens of Hampton Roads. A second initiative that is just now underway is one in partnership with ODU. Dr. Karen Polanco, University Professor at ODU, and Dr. Lou Lombardo, Professor Emeritus, and Champions for Children Prevent Child Abuse, is bringing into the area a district attorney from Wisconsin, Dane County, Wisconsin, who has started a no-hit zone program, which is a prevention program, and he has further developed a deferred prosecution program so that parents that come to his court with excessive physical punishment on their records, punishing their children, that they are put into a program, mandated program, where they are trained with alternatives in terms of instead of physical punishment.
Okay, so these are addressing two pretty strong issues, and maybe things that haven't been addressed as much before. There is an event that is taking place at Old Dominion regarding this no-hit zone and the second initiative you're talking about. When is that taking place?
April the 12th.
Okay.
The district attorney is coming to ODU, and there will be a luncheon event on April the 12th, and more importantly for everyone, they will do a second presentation that evening at ODU in Baton, the Bowell building, in the auditorium at 7 p.m. That presentation is open to the public.
Okay, great. So April 12th, 7 to 9 at the Baton Arts and Letters building auditorium.
Yes.
And you can come if you're interested in learning more about the no-hit zone and other initiatives. And we have someone with the state of Wisconsin who will be coming down to talk about that. Should be very interesting. So please, call, find out more about it, go online. You'll have information from the championsforchildren.org. They will have the dates and other events too, because there is, as there has been for many years, a celebrity night, and that is taking place at Baker's Crust, which is over at on 21st Street, and that runs probably from about 5 to
9.
Okay, or 6 to 9.
6 to 9, I believe.
Yes, with 6 to 9, that's what the board says. And you can check on details about that too on the Champions for Children website. So you don't forget about it. But this event is to help raise funds to help further education.
And to help, to help raise funds to further the education, but also to raise the awareness. And so while April is the month that we look at this with a really, a spotlight, the rest of the year we are putting forth other events. We have an annual luncheon. Last October was our 3rd annual luncheon.
Okay.
The first one, I understand, was 90 people. Last year we had almost 300 people.
My goodness.
And our guest speaker was our Lieutenant Governor, who is also a pediatric neurologist, who I would imagine in his, maybe not so much in his practice, but in his efforts at CHKD, has seen some things that most of us don't like to talk about, which is why we're here, because the discussion needs to be had, and we need to make people aware that it's happening, make them aware of the signs of it, and educate them on what to do.
Okay. Well, thank you. Appreciate both of you being here to share just really what's on the surface, because there's so much more to this and a lot more to the organization than even the words will tell you. So please check them out online. And thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be back in a minute with news about a super program for kids that's fun and helps improve their reading skills.